Last week, the first 6 took to the stove. They went face to face with the judges, but there were no eliminations.
It's week 2 of Rock Chef and another 6 hoping to make it through to the next round.
Last week, the bar was set. Let's see this week if they can at least match it.
With £2,000 or a week training at the UK top culinary school at stake, let's meet our next 6 hoping to become Gibraltar's Rock Chef.
New Zealand-born chef Scott Casey grew up on the Sunshine Coast of Australia. He's been in the hospitality industry for 15 years, having started his career with an apprenticeship in the multi-award-winning restaurant Barado's in Noosa Heads under the celebrity chef and mentor Dale Merlo.
Hello everyone. Well, the process started with hundreds of applications. Last week we met the first 6 to be shortlisted. We welcome you today, but do you have what it takes to win this competition?
Are you guys pumped and ready to go?
Yeah!
Okay. Kitchens are ready, let's do it.
This is the Rock Chef kitchen. Right now it's empty, as each contestant needs to provide for themselves, from saucepans and utensils to the salt and pepper.
My name is Paul Cartwright. I'm a customs officer, and my 2 frustrated passions, one was being a musician, which I never did, and the other one was obviously to try and be a good cook or chef.
Well, my name is Kevin Davis. I'm a local firefighter. I actually didn't sign up for the program. I was signed up by my wife. She's very, she always says I do very good cooking, and she enjoys my food.
Hi, I'm Manuel Esteban. I'm 27 years old. I was born in Venezuela, now I'm working here in Gibraltar. I want to win this show because everyone keeps telling me I'm a good cook.
My name is Jane Hart. I've been living here in Gibraltar for 25 years. I opened my own design company 23 years ago called Denville Designs.
So yeah, I love creativity, you know, decoration, cooking, whatever. My age is 66 years of age.
Well, I'm Nigel Triai. I'm 33 years old, currently unemployed. And yeah, I love cooking and I want to see how good I am actually, so that's why I actually entered this competition.
My name's Leanne, I'm 28. I work for Jib Telecom, so in communications. I do various other things as well. I like to keep busy. And I entered Rock Chef because I have 2 passions, food and travelling, and food being one of them. I thought this was the perfect opportunity.
Our home cooks have been asked to prepare the ultimate Gibraltarian dish. It must be one to take them through to the next round. All their produce must be sourced locally. Local ingredients for a local dish.
With only 6 places available in the quarter-final rounds, it's time for our aspiring Rock Chefs to feel the heat in the kitchen.
You have 1 hour to show us all what you've got. Make every second count.
The clock is ticking. Soon they'll need to impress our judges. Their 60 minutes start now.
I'm going to try and do a little bit of my everyday life, which is organizing myself into 1 hour and do as many things as possible.
An ambitious selection, but only seconds in, Paul runs into trouble.
I am very creative, a bit of a perfectionist, so I do like to micromanage everything that I do and aim for perfection.
My cooking is all about natural flavors, seasonal vegetables, seasonal fruits, everything that can be healthy and locally sourced.
I love flavours. I really, really love using flavours and textures and mixing them all together. I really just love cooking.
Gibraltar being the way it is and the mixture of cultures that we have, I try and be very diverse in the way I cook. I try and cook from different countries, Italian, Indian, Moroccan, Mediterranean, obviously.
I'm just an amateur. I enjoy cooking for friends, but I enjoy mixing different flavours. Because I travel a lot, I've seen lots of different combinations, different cuisines, and I like to take inspiration from that and bring it to what I cook.
I'm making chicken in almond sauce, which is a very typical Gibraltarian dish.
If everything goes to plan, then it should be it should taste nice, which is like half of the battle. And then the other challenge for me is actually that it actually looks nice.
Basically, it's the whole four. It's torta serga. I'm going to try and do calentita, also rosto, and some British quiche. So one more Gibraltarian than that.
Have you cleaned the mushrooms?
I'm going to clean them right now, once I finish the chopping.
Doing a sharing platter of mussels, gambas pilpil, and couscous.
I wasn't born in Gibraltar, but the dish that I see a lot of people eating, and it reflects for me the geography of it is mussels. For me, it represents the rock, the prawns represent the sea.
No, I just hope they'll find it very flavoursome, because I love cooking sort of tasty, interesting. Flavour is a big thing for me.
It's the type of vegetable stew with peppers, green peas, goat's cheese and potato, and it all comes together with fresh eggs. Try to go back to a bit of the roots of Gibraltar, and this is based on a plate that used to be done during the Second World War sort of period, or the frontier coast. Because of rationing, there wasn't enough meat going around.
Today I'm making a different take on rotto. For me, rotto is a typical Gibraltarian dish, but I didn't want to make it quite that simple and so boring, so I'm deconstructing it. So it's sort of a posh version of rotto.
Can I just ask you one thing, because you talk about pasta. Is that why there's a hanger behind you?
Yeah,
Do you always cook with
not a conventional piece of cooking equipment, but they do sell pasta dryers. I've never got around to it because I just use the back of a chair in my kitchen because the way the kitchens are. I tried to buy one this week, they didn't sell one. So my next best thing to air out the pasta, which is my next step, is to hang it out on a hanger.
25 minutes in, fast approaching the halfway mark, and everyone is fully concentrated. As some concerns start to emerge, James takes Scott to one side.
I think a couple this week is a bit more complicated. The dishes as well. I mean, timing as well. As you know, 60 minutes, it flies past. It goes a lot quicker than when it comes to the pumps. So I'm a little bit worried, but hopefully they all seem quite confident. So we'll see how we can go.
Anybody impressed you so far? Any of the selections?
I think Leanne making her own pasta. I think it's interesting. You know, it's a bit bold. Everybody thinks pasta. You know, it's easy to buy it and stuff. You know, it is easy to make. It's hard to get it right though. Seasoning your water, seasoning your pasta dough, make sure it's rested long enough, consistency, not sticking together. There's so many things that can go wrong, but if she pulls it off, it could be good.
Any mistakes now could cost them their place in the competition. Just like last week, 30 minutes in, and the pressure is about to intensify.
Okay guys, we're halfway through. 30 minutes to go. 30 minutes to go.
Still to come tonight, the judges have their say, and 12 becomes 6.
In an ever-changing world, new challenges frequently arise in our personal lives and in the corporate and commercial world. Whether it's advice, structures, planning or strategies that need resolution, Hassan's has the expertise to meet clients' exacting requirements. Our diversity means we are adaptable and flexible. We are innovative, cosmopolitan, multilingual, and above all, client-focused. Whatever or wherever the challenge, we can provide the solutions.
Abrines, bringing quality brands at affordable prices to your kitchen for over 80 years. Abrines, a member of the Sacconi & Speed group of companies.
It grows back! You've got to see this.
For a longer-lasting pleasure, Magnum Infinity. Made with special cocoa. An intense chocolate pleasure that stays with you longer, but not forever. Magnum Infinity.
The second lot of contestants are in the kitchen. With some ambitious plates, time is not on their side.
They're not going too bad, actually, to be fair. The problem is, I mean, we don't want to get the position with those with meats in the dishes, so we don't want to be ready too early. Obviously, when the time's up, the meat's going to overcook, we'll keep cooking, and again, we don't want to go the other way, undercooked, so. 15 minutes to go, guys, 15 minutes.
As we saw last week, the judges do not mince their words, and Vicky is about to arrive. Vicky Bishop runs her own catering company, and her food can normally be found at many high-profile events in the corporate and entertainment industry, and has experience working in local hotels.
Certainly some interesting things going on, and some contestants have set themselves quite a challenge this week, so it'll be interesting to see how they pull it off.
I'm starving this week too, James, so I really hope they do as well.
Scott and Vicky are hoping to be impressed, but a quick look around flags up a number of issues, with some of the dishes undercooked.
Ten minutes to go. Come on, pick it up, let's go, 10 minutes.
Okay, so this point where the judges have moved into the judging room, Scott and Vicky have now left us. Tonight, 12 will become 6. Will you be amongst them? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Your time is now up.
The hour is up. No more time to cook. So have they done enough to stay in the competition? First to face the judges is Kevin, who's made a vegetable stew accompanied by homemade bread.
It's a vegetable stew. It's got garden peas, green peppers, potatoes, goat's cheese, and an egg.
The bread definitely needs more salt, definitely. For me personally, the egg, it's way overcooked, it's too hard. Underneath, the sauce, everything else, the cheese works well, complements the rest of the dish. Peas are nice, not too bad, Kevin.
I just wonder if there's enough skill there to pull you through to the next round.
To be honest, I did say when I actually came, we were told to try and do a Gibraltarian dish. I can do a lot better than this.
I think the idea is great, it's just you got a lot of competition today.
Esteban is next, with vegetable couscous, with prawns pil-pil and a mussels and bacon side dish.
For me now, growing up here, and I had to look at what people love and what I see eating on the restaurants, and I tried to do all of a combination of what I understand is a Mediterranean flavors.
I think, to start, couscous, fantastic, really good. Loads of different flavours there. You get the acidity, you get sweetness, you get chili at the end. Beautiful. Mussels, I mean, they're nice. I can't remember, I wouldn't imagine coconut milk or coconuts would have been around in Gibraltar, or how they come, to Gibraltar in any kind of way, personally. The prawns pil-pil, I mean, they're nice. It's not the best pil-pil I've ever had in my life. I don't really get any garlic or any chili or sort of any real outstanding flavours to the prawns.
Personally, I think the overall flavour's nice because you can't pick up too heavily on the bacon. I think that's quite nice, but I'm just questioning the bacon in there. And also the Gibraltarian aspect of it as well.
Thank you very much.
Up next, Leanne, who has deconstructed Gibraltar's most traditional dish, rosto.
It's a deconstructed rotto, so it's taking the flavours from the rosto dish. So I've made the homemade pasta with the tomato sauce, the honey glazed carrots with thyme, and then it's a pork tenderloin in a herb crust, and that's got some of the tomato sauce on top as well.
What is it with these people with tomato roses? What's going on? Is there any need? Look at it. Leanne, I think first you've got to be commended for making your pasta, or having an attempt at it anyway. Did you cook it in salted water?
Yes.
Really highly salted water?
It's salted.
Okay. Did you lots of salt in the pasta dough as well? Like a nice generous amount?
Not a lot of salted.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, it is too bland. If the sauce had been seasoned correctly, I think they would have covered it, but it isn't. The pork is actually, you know, looking at it looks, I mean, terrible, but it is actually quite juicy, to be fair.
But you completely baffled me, because when I saw you slicing your pork, it looked really quite pink, to a point where I thought, whoa, it might actually be undercooked, but it is cooked through. And when I look at it, it looks overcooked, but when you taste it, it's still a bit juicy. I don't know what you've done. I'm baffled by the pork. Maybe you over-seared it, I think, with this crust, and so when you put it in the oven, the outside's a little bit overcooked, but the inside's okay. And the pasta, I noticed you didn't really work the dough a lot, so you haven't worked the gluten in the dough. I think it needs more seasoning, but I think you did really well.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Nigel has made chicken in almond sauce with rice and crusted chicken drumsticks.
What do we have? Can you explain on the plate there for us, please?
Okay, so as mentioned beforehand, we got some rice. We have the chicken in almond sauce. This is a traditional way of cooking it. And then this is my variation of it. It's again chicken drumsticks, and the crust is almonds, parsley, bread, and I added a little bit of chili just to give it something different, so it's not all the same flavors. And yeah, you've got the sauce, a bit of wild, a bit of parsley, a bit of thyme, gives it a nice flavour.
You've under-seasoned it, it's such a shame.
On which part?
The whole thing's under-seasoned.
Yeah.
And it looks beautiful, it is amazing, and you've just under-seasoned it, and it's such an anti-climax. It's a shame.
But it looks dry. I mean, you can see it. It looks dry. Put that with dry rice.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's going to be dry. There's not much you can do from there. That's the source of wetter consistency.
Yeah.
There's just a couple of little things you could have done, which
Yeah,
would
of course.
just...
I'm actually happy with
Yeah.
actually not knowing how the end product was going to look. When I started the hour, I'm very happy with the way it's finished.
It looks beautiful.
Jane has made pork loin with wild garlic, potato and asparagus.
Well, this is lomo de cerdo, pork loin, and I've cooked it with wild garlic and wild thyme, which grows up on the rock. I'm sort of using all local ingredients, so making it a sort of a local dish, but not a named local dish that local people know.
I think it's sort of, I mean, look at it, it sort of speaks for itself really. Would you agree? There seems to be a lot of green going on there, and like Vicky just said, you can't eat it, basically. It's just too much.
Maybe I should have cut it much finer.
I think definitely a lot finer, and definitely cooked longer as well. It's got quite a bitter aftertaste to it as well, with the mushrooms as well, I think.
I think personally, I just wouldn't have used the green, and I think that would have made the difference.
Well, you know, I toyed with that idea because the local people only use the bulbs.
That's right.
And I looked up recipes on, you know, the website, how to cook the wild spinach, and all the British websites, all the British cooks only use the leaves, they don't use the bulbs.
Well, of the garlic.
Yeah.
Well, you can see that the reason why we can't cut through it is because of the green.
Thank you, Jane. Cheers.
I just can't figure out why we can't cut through it. I don't know.
I don't know whether there's the fact that there's
Can't cut through it. I don't know what it is.
There's at least 4 kilo on the plate there for starters.
I just can't figure it out.
And finally Paul with his multiple creation, calentita, quiche, torta celga and rosto.
Is this tomato thing, is that a part of the dish or what's going on there?
That's just the dressing.
We'll get rid of that because that's rubbish. We don't need that. Okay, so what have we got going on?
Right, so basically that is the calentita, that is the torta la serga, and that is the quiche. And that's the rosto with some bacon and mushroom.
I think maybe it would have probably been better to focus on 1 as opposed to 4, getting the 1 right, as to 1, to me, nothing, 1 okay, and the other 2 not bad.
I'm struggling as well to find really enough, you know, positive input here. I find that that's not worthy of being called rotto.
Okay.
I think that just looks like the leftovers of what you had going on in the quiche, kind of thrown on the side with some pasta, so that doesn't really qualify for rotto. I think calentita, I think it's really well done. I mean, I think it's creamy, I think the texture's right. I think you're right there. I think it's a tricky thing to get right. It can be overcooked quite easily. I think you've done really well there. I think the quiche has got lovely flavour, but a bit too much cheese going on. It's more like a fondue. And again, I just don't, I agree. I agree with Chef here. I think that if you'd done one of these dishes well, you would have done yourself more justice than 4 mediocre. So I'm sorry.
With harsh opinions from our judges, we bring back all 12 contestants.
6 of you will fall tonight. And to make that decision, we have our judges. Please let's welcome back into the kitchen Scott and Vicky. Nigel, please step forward. Chicken with almond and parsley. The judges said succulent chicken, but under-seasoned. It looked beautiful, but there was a big but. Vicky.
Nigel, don't let us down. You're coming through. Remember to practice and season.
Kevin. Goat's cheese and egg. The dish was lovely, but again lacking in seasoning. Your bread was undercooked. Scott.
Kevin, unfortunately, sorry mate, your journey finishes here.
Paul, you created a llanito platter. The judges struggled to find something positive to say about your creation. Your shortcut for the sauce backfired, and they said it was better to have concentrated on one dish perhaps and not 4 mediocre ones. Vicky.
We'll keep cooking, but we can't take you through. Competition was too severe, and we haven't been able to put you in, but keep cooking.
Okay, we've done the first 3 announcements. Zoe and Benjamin, please step forward. Zoe, Benjamin, you both decided to cook rolitos. It always means it's a tough choice when you go head to head with one of your colleagues. Scott.
You're both through. Congratulations.
Leanne, will you please step forward? Your dish, deconstructed rosto. You were commended for creating your own pasta, but it was described as bland, and you baffled the judges with your pork. Vicky.
I don't like deconstructed normally, but I think you did a really good job, and I think you showed a lot of skill, and I'm looking forward to taking you through and seeing what else you've got to show us.
Esteban. Lisa, can you join him? Mediterranean mix versus petit sous. Can you please take the center of the kitchen? Esteban, your couscous was described as fantastic. The rest of the dish, okay. And they said that you were capable of more. Lisa, you impressed with your presentation, but you pulled out the dish from the oven early.
Esteban, Lisa, this was a tough one. We really struggled with this one. Esteban, pick it up, please. We're going to see more of you. Next time, more. Okay? Lisa, I'm very sorry, man.
Sonia, you're next. And your rosto was described as a succulent, juicy pork, but they said you perhaps needed to step up on the presentation. Vicky.
I think you can cook, and I think you're a really good cook. But I'm worried about taking you through to the next round, because I think I'm wondering whether you might struggle in an industrial kitchen. And for that reason, we thought it best not to put you through. I'm sorry, Sonia.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We move on to Jane now. Pork loin with garlic and thyme. The judges said you cannot eat it and said it had a bitter aftertaste. Scott.
Jane, although I love the idea and the thought behind the dish, unfortunately, it wasn't good enough compared to everybody else. We can't take you through, I'm sorry.
Ainsley, will you please step forward? Ian, will you join him? The last 2 contestants, guys, there's only 1 place left. Ainsley, croquetas, they were described as large croquetas, the choco on the side unnecessary, but the rest of the dish was well balanced, they said. Ian, your chicken fricassee, bit heavy in saffron, but good flavored and juicy chicken. Vicky.
That was tough for me, I think. I think you're both really good cooks, but we can only take 1 person through. I think you have a lot more to offer, Ian, but I'm afraid I couldn't take you through. I'm taking Ainsley.
So Scott and Vicky have made their decisions. These are the 6 going through the first round. One of them is on the way to becoming Gibraltar's first rock chef.
I'm really excited. I'm over the moon. It's just the adrenaline rush today. It's been amazing.
I'm really excited that I got through. I'm really happy about it and looking forward to see what they throw at us next.
I'm really excited that I've been chosen and I'm going through to the next round. I really can't believe it. It's very exciting.
I'm really pleased. There are some really good dishes out there to taste.
I'm happy that I got through and I'm looking forward to cook on the next round.
Really happy I got through, and next week I hope I can show you what my cooking is all about.
Next week, it's all change in the Rock Chef kitchen. The competition gets tougher as contestants go head-to-head in Gibraltar's top restaurants. Join us over on Facebook for full eviction interviews and exclusive online content. Facebook.com/RockChefJib.